In the heart of Tallahassee, Florida, amidst the swaying palms and southern charm, there emerged a titan of medicine whose legacy echoes through the corridors of history. Meet Dr. Alexander Brickler II, a trailblazing gynecologist whose compassionate hands welcomed over 30,000 newborn lives into this world. But his impact transcended the confines of the delivery room. Dr. Brickler was a pioneer in more ways than one. Amidst the turbulent times of racial segregation, Dr. Brickler stood as a beacon of change, spearheading the integration of Tallahassee's hospital system. His unwavering commitment to equality not only shattered barriers, but opened the doors for countless physicians of color who followed in his footsteps. And the roots of his courage run deep, for the Brickler family is not just a testament of medical excellence, but also an indomitable spirit of resilience as direct descendants of the legendary Harriet Tubman. Join us as we journey through the remarkable life and legacy of Dr. Alexander Brickler II, a true pioneer whose footsteps echo through the annals of time.
My name is Denise Pemberton Barnes. I'm a native of Tallahassee, Florida, 6th generation. Both of my parents were born here. As far as the history of my family and the Anderson Brickler family, the family doctor for us was Dr. Russell Anderson. Before that, my parents used mostly midwives and other people who practiced community medicine. The relationship with Dr. Anderson goes back many years. I was a little girl when we started going there. When his son-in-law, Dr. A.D. Brickler, came, of course I wasn't aware that he was coming, but one day I went to the Anderson Brickler Clinic and Dr. Anderson said, okay, Dr. Brickler will be your new doctor. I believe I was in college at the time. So that's who took over my care. Then when my daughter was born, she was delivered by Dr. A.D. Brickler. And I've said to her and I've told other people that he was a very astute, very attentive doctor. And I will never forget when I went to FAMU Hospital, where she was born, the nurses were getting ready to roll me in to do the usual preparation. And Dr. Brickler walked over and looked, and he told them, said, no, you don't need to do that. This baby is coming. I remember those words very well. And so, sure enough, there was no preparation. She just, I guess, said, I'm tired of being in here, and out she came. So I always remember that about Dr. Brickler.
My name is Steve Beasley. I'm a lifelong resident of Tallahassee, Leon County. My family is a lifelong resident too. And we're here today to talk about Dr. A.D. Brickler, a person that I really admired, not only as a medical doctor, physician, but as a human being that was just a jewel to the American, to Leon County, to Tallahassee. And you can ask anyone that, and they would agree with me. He was a quiet person, but he demanded respect because of his action, his track record in the hospital. He was not a selfish person because when he integrated the local hospital as a doctor, his first thing he wanted to do was get it so that other doctors of color would be able to practice that. And he risked his reputation of being the first doctor admitted to Tallahassee Memorial to help other doctors. And that, in a nutshell, tell you what type of man Dr. Brickler was.
I'm Shauna Smith. I'm originally from Tallahassee, proudly born in 1954. I've lived here most of my life outside of a few years when I was married and we were in the military. I pretty much have been right here even when it was area code 904, now 850. So I'm originally born here and I'm a true Rattler. My connection with the Brickler family started even before I knew we were connected. I was an Anderson Brickler baby, and both of my children were birthed by Dr. Brickler, Dr. A.D. Brickler. So that's the professional side of it, but on a personal side, I attended school with all of the Brickler children. We all went to Florida High, and I also attended church with the Brickler family. The Brickler family, along with my father and my parents, were founders of the first predominantly Black Presbyterian church here in town, and which was formulated because we could not attend the first Presbyterian church at the time, which did not allow Blacks. So they are some of the founders of that church, along with some other family members that said we want to have our own Presbyterian church.
At the funeral of Dr. Brickler, I went up to Mrs. Brickler, Mrs. Dorothy Brickler, and said, "Oh, you're just gorgeous." And she said, "I'm gorgeous every day." I thought that was just it's true. So I thought that was just wonderful, wonderful. And to be with the family, to lift them up as this is being done is just the right thing to do. When you enter Celeste's home, you see Harriet Tubman in a photograph that she has there in the house. And
Yes.
That I remember Dr. Brickler's mother as a child. I remember knowing her, and when I hear the stories, how she talked about them saying that there was Aunt Harriet, that's just it's mind blowing. It's wonderful. It's fantastic.
Hi, I'm Chad Lawson Cooper, a New York City-based movie producer, filmmaker, and playwright. This particular project, The Bricklers, that Denise and I are working on is really special to me because it's a hidden part of history that has not really been told.
I'm Denise Powell with DP Global Media, and it is a tremendous honor to be a part of this production with Chad Cooper Company. I'm particularly delighted because I am a Brickler baby. I was born at Florida A&M Hospital in 1963, and it's always been a point of humility and a point of pride to have been a Brickler baby. People that I know and myself have always cited that when somebody asks you if you're from Tallahassee, we always say yes. And I was born at Florida A&M Hospital, and for me, Dr. Brickler delivered me, and that was always a point of pride. I was born just on the heels of the segregation era. So to have been invited by Chad Lawson Cooper to be a part of a legacy that I've always been proud of is a very humbling experience for me.
To see my grandfather being somebody who dedicated so much of his life towards advocating for people, helping patients, helping patients as people. Who am I but somebody that should strive for excellence at the very least? That's what this legacy really means to me. That's all the more so why I try daily to try and live up to at least a facsimile of their commitments. If I could say one last thing to my dad, I always, rather than call him dad, I always called him Pop. I would say, Pop, thank you. Thank you for everything you taught me about the amazing wonders of the world, of travel, of learning about other places and other cultures, and bringing what I could of my own African American culture and sharing that with others. Thank you for that.
Dad, if I could say one more thing to you, I'd say thank you for what you've given me. The one thing you gave me was your name. I've lived up to the best of my ability to carry your name. I love you, Dad.
Hi, folks. My name is Alexander Brickler. I'm a physician. I'm here with my son, who's also a physician. My life has been wrapped up largely with my family and with medicine. Last count, I had delivered up to 30,000 babies. Some of them have been babies that you would probably know. One was a Heisman Trophy winner. Another one, an Olympic gold medal. My fortune has been very, very good because I had a wonderful family support system. My mother and father didn't tell me, they just expected me to do something worthwhile in the world. And I tried to pass that down to my family, and it seems to have worked. I have a son here who is a very successful obstetrician in Tallahassee, a daughter who's a successful endocrinologist there, and two other sons who are both IT people. I hope they're not hacking into my personal life at this moment. So that it's been a wonderful life. I retired about 6 months ago. I'm now 90 years old in 6 months. Did my last section back in January, and guess who was with me at the section? We operated together. So it's been a wonderful trip.
One of the things that my illustrious father did not mention is our lineage. My father is 2 generations removed from Harriet Tubman. His grandmother was Harriet Tubman's niece, Margaret, and his mother unveiled the plaque at the dedication to the plaque at in Auburn, New York, when Harriet Tubman, after Harriet Tubman was buried. She sat on the at the dais with Booker T. Washington. We are not that far removed from slavery.
And he does not seek out recognition ever. But there is one thing that he asks
Job well done, Dr. Brickler. There's certainly a place reserved for you in history. Thank you.